professor's point, what's happening right now in Scotland is 30 to 50,000 people, another United Nations conference failing the people and the planet. So we stand in solidarity with them today on this continent. We stand.
My name is Miles Aiello. I'm a community organizer and climate activist, and I'm here today standing in solidarity with my brothers and sisters to demand the change that we need to happen in terms of averting the worst impacts from the climate crisis.
So, why did you want to come out here today?
Well, the only time there's been real change in this country is when ordinary working class folks stand up and demand it. Whether that was the farm workers movement, the civil rights movement, the environmental movement, the LGBTQ movement, it's when working people come together, stand shoulder to shoulder, and demand the change that we need to see. And so we're out here today to make that change happen.
And why did you choose Long Beach City Hall?
But we chose Long Beach City Hall because this is where real change happens. This is where decisions are made, and we wanted to make it known that we were here, have our faces seen, and really wanted to capitalize on the recent oil spill and let our elected officials know who work for us that we need to expedite the process of phasing out all fossil fuels and oil extraction.
And one more thing, what is your name and how it's spelled?
Yeah, my name is Miles Aiello, M-I-L-E-S, last name's A-I-E-L-L-O.
Expedite the process of phasing out of fossil fuels and gas extraction from the Mother Earth. It's a great privilege to have Professor Joy here today. She's a professor at Cerritos College. She's going to come up and say a few words. So give it up for Professor Joy.
Hey everyone, thanks for being here. I want to recognize that we are standing right now on Tongva land. We are on indigenous native territory, and we always have to remember that. They were here for over 10,000 years, and capitalism and colonialism came along and decided to extract resources, decided to abuse our Mother Earth, and we are here to say that we want to honor Mother Earth, and we are here to demand an end to these extractive systems that have oppressed the indigenous folks, that have oppressed people of color, and continue to pollute us, to harm us, to make us sick, and to make our planet sick. So, as Miles mentioned, we are here to make sure that people don't forget about all of the extraction that's happening right here off of our coast, in our oceans, that, as we know, has harmed the living creatures in the ocean, but also us. We are right now experiencing very poor air quality in this area because of our global systems of consumerism, again, extraction, use of fossil fuels. This is old technology, and we need to evolve. We need to be in line with Mother Earth, and we need to honor her with everything that we do. So we're here to uplift that message. Thank you, everyone, for standing here with us in solidarity, and let's keep the pressure on our elected officials. Let's be the change that we want to see. Thank you.
American Heritage Month, November. And so the Tongva people, which are still here today among us, are actually still not recognized as a federal tribe. So write your Congress folks, whoever you have to do your research, but the Tongva people deserve their recognition. And that's something we need to advocate for here today. But like Professor Joy also said, we stand at an interesting time. We stand at a time where we need to capitalize on this oil spill and demand the change that we wish to see. Long Beach has committed to phasing out fossil fuels and oil by the year 2035. That's not good enough. We need to phase out fossil fuels and oil 10 years ago, 15 years ago, 20 years ago. The time is now to push our elected officials who work for us and demand that they enact this change. And we're out here on a Saturday to demand this change because we know the only time there's been change in this country is when working, ordinary class folks stand up and demand it. Whether that's the farm workers movement, whether that's the civil rights movement, whether that's the environmental movement, the feminism movement, we know that we have to put in the work, boots to the ground, make some noise, and push our elected officials. We're tired of the small reform. We're tired of the small changes. And right now we stand in solidarity with our brothers and sisters as they at the United Nations Climate Change Conference, COP26, are in the streets, 30, 50,000 people yesterday, saying you're not doing good enough. We see the small reform. We see how you're still benefiting from these systems of extraction.